Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today via tape delay from the Thomas Landman Field, the home of the Laurel Highlands High School boys baseball team. The Mustangs take on the Gateway Gators. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay, and we'll be back with the lineups right after these messages.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Zach and Gary Frankhauser back here at Laurel Highlands High School. The Mustangs hosting the Gateway Gators. High school baseball action on this Tuesday afternoon. Let's take a look at the Gateway batting lineup. Leading off and in right field, junior number 6, Brady Walker, batting second and playing third base for the Gateway Gators, number 8, and that is Mark Caggiano. Batting third in center field, number 5, Dylan Urban. The pitchers in the cleanup spot, number 39, Chris Dick. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 14, Mike Voynick. Batting sixth and catching, number 19, Caleb Lehman. Batting seventh in left field, number 15, Austin Conroy. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 23, Justin Stankovich. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 12, Brendan Majaka. Defensively for Laurel Highlands, Greg Lancaster is out in left field, Hudson Novak in center, and Derek Gasebauer in right. Around the Hornets, Tanner Minio at third, Travis Sankovic at short, Josh Burns at second, and Mason McManus playing first. Noah Menken on the hill for the Mustangs, and Chad Petrus is catching. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Laurel Highlands hosting Gateway High School baseball action here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Important for people to know that we represent injured people to the best of our ability, and we've been successful doing that. And I don't say that to have people come to see us because we have been successful. I say that because it's true, and it's important.
Another important aspect is the experience that we have is local experience in the court system in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Alongside Gary Frankhauser, our pregame show being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. These two teams in a battle for the fourth and final playoff spot in the conference, and we'll have the first pitch for you right after this on WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network and the MSA Sports Network.
Welcome back to Tom Landman Field. We're just about ready for the first pitch. Take a look at that defensive lineup for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. On the hill this afternoon, Noah Mankin. Behind the plate, the familiar catcher Chad Petrus for the Mustangs. Around the outfield, Greg Lancaster in left, Hudson Novak in center field, right field Derek Gaisbauer, Tanner Minio at third base, Travis Sankovic at shortstop, Josh Burns at second base, and over there at first base is Mason McManus.
Mankin 1-0 on the season, 6.30 ERA. Has worked just 6 2/3 innings, walked 8, and struck out 3 so far this season for Laurel Highlands. As we said, Gary, a big game for that fourth and final playoff spot in the conference. Laurel Highlands currently a half-game lead over Albert Gallatin for fourth position in the conference. AG at 4-6, the Mustangs at 4-5, and Gateway nipping at their heels at 3-6 in the conference.
It's getting down to the final games of the season, and they're all very important. Any wins that you can pick up, especially against the teams closest to you, are going to be very important. As we're ready for the first pitch, stepping in is Brian Walker.
Brady Walker, actually.
I'm sorry, Brady. I looked at that real quickly. Brady Walker, he is wearing number 6 and playing right field.
Junior batting .429 on the season for the Gateway Gators.
There's a looper over shortstop, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Takes the 1-0 pitch and just drops it into shallow left field for a leadoff single for Brady Walker.
And this top half of the first inning being brought to you by Tracy Vargo for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County.
That'll bring up the third baseman, number 8, Mark Caggiano.
He's really had a nice season so far this year, Gary, batting .556, only a sophomore.
Certainly puts the ball in play. Unique uniforms for Gateway as that first pitch is high and inside, basically long pants.
Yes.
A couple of guys have them bloused up showing their socks, but the majority of the team in the gray away uniforms with gold numbers, gold sleeves. Mustangs in their home white. 1-0 pitch now on the way from Noah Mankin, and he fakes the bunt and takes a strike or bunts through it.
More of a Vegas gold for the Gateway Gators. Laurel Highlands in the all whites, red numbers, blue hats here today.
1-1 the count now. On at first with that leadoff single, Brady Walker for Gateway. Check on the runner from the stretch. 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss, right through it. Way off first base now, but easily sliding back in. I shouldn't say easily. They had him way off first base. The throw was inside, and Walker was able to slide on the outside of first base and get back in. Otherwise, he would have been picked off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Caggiano. And there's a hard shot down third, foul. Just foul, wide of third base.
Certainly a cooler afternoon for high school baseball. We had temperatures in the 80s and even the low 90s over the weekend. Game time temperature here today, 58 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, and a high wind warning actually for the area, which might play a factor in this game before all is said and done.
I don't think there's any doubt. 1-2 pitch. There's a hard shot to third. That one is fair. Down the third base line, and now trying to get into third base and successfully doing that is Walker. Into second base is Caggiano on the throw, so we'll give him a single. Goes to second on the throw now. Second and third, nobody out for Gateway.
Certainly a good start here for the Gateway Gators. I mentioned their lineup, especially among the top of the lineup, you have Walker batting .429, Caggiano batting .556, and Dylan Urban, who's now at the plate, batting .647. But they do have a little bit of a drop-off towards the middle and the bottom portion of their lineup, so the Mustangs can hopefully take advantage of that.
Gateway trying to get on the board here early in the top of the first inning. As Brian said, Dylan Urban, the center fielder, now stepping in. Breaking ball inside for ball one. A lot of work needed to be done on the field here with all the precipitation over the weekend and yesterday. A lot of field dry out there in the infield. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, they did a nice job getting this field playable for today. The Mustangs were scheduled to play at Woodland Hills yesterday. That game got rained out and we made up next week.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Good fastball that time by Noah Mankin.
This is actually the first of two meetings this week between these two schools. They'll play at Gateway coming up on Thursday.
Big out needed here by the Mustangs. Here's a pitch. Pop up on the infield. That looks like it could be played by Petrus. A little bit of interference there. And now nobody at first base, and he's going to get...
They roll the batter out,
Gary. Roll the batter out with the interference. Kind of ran into Chad, so he's going to be out and will not allow any advance. So how do you score that, Brian?
Probably just F2.
It would have been an F2, but I think interference is the call, so to come up with a new sign in our scoreboard for interference. Ball was in play in front of first base, and Urban just kind of ran into Chad as he was trying to come out to make the play. Here's a curveball, dribbler down to third. That's a fair ball. They're going to hold the runner at third, on to first. Good pick that time by Mason McManus over here at first base. Throw was in the dirt to his right by third baseman Tan Herminio. But that ball was hit directly down to third base, and unable to advance was Walker. So another big out for the Mustangs.
That was the pitcher, Chris Dick, that was retired 5-3. The junior came into the game batting .267.
That brings up Mike Voynick. And with two outs, Mustangs trying to work their way out of this first inning jam. Noah Mankin will go from the stretch. Here's a pitch, foul back for a strike, so Noah working in front.
Voynick batting only .206, but he does have 8 RBIs so far this season for the Gators. As you said, playing shortstop here today, a junior.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one on the outside part of the plate. So way ahead. Noah Mankin looking to eliminate this first inning threat by Gateway. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike three. High fastball that Voynick could not hold up on, and that will get the Mustangs out of the jam here in the top of the first. Gateway does not score after having second and third with no outs. We'll be back with the bottom of the first. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS and the MSA Sports Network. Here we go, back in the bottom half of the first inning at Tom Lamon Field. Mustangs able to work their way out of a first inning jam. Noah Mankin, pretty good pitching there to work out of that jam. The first out coming after runners on second and third with nobody out. Little pop-up in front of home plate. Interference was the call, so that was a good break for the Mustangs. Runners unable to advance. Ground ball to the third and a strikeout eliminates that threat, Brian.
Let's take a look at the Mustang batting lineup. Leading off, Tanner Mineo playing third. Travis Sankovic batting second, playing shortstop. Hudson Novak in center field batting third. Derek Gasebauer, the right fielder, in the cleanup spot. Mason McManus batting fifth and playing first base. The designated hitter is Ened in field. He's batting sixth. Chad Petrus catching and batting seventh. Josh Burns playing second base, batting eighth. And Greg Lancaster in left field batting ninth. Defensively for Gateway, Austin Conroy in left, Dylan Urban in center, and Brady Walker in right around the horn. Mark Agiano at third, Mike Voynick at short, Brendan Majaka at second, and Justin Stankovic at first. Chris Dick pitching and Caleb Lehman catching.
First pitch from Chris Dick to Tanner Mineo, in for a strike fastball. Number 39 on the hill, and there's a shot to left field going back, and looks like he got it measured. He does. That's Austin Conroy, so good rip there by Tanner Mineo, but unable to get on as the fly ball just kind of hung up there.
Looking at Dick's numbers, he's 1-0 on the season, 3.44 ERA, 21 strikeouts to 17 walks in 20 innings of work.
It's like a tall, strong young man. Stepping in now, Travis Sankovic takes ball one outside.
Remember the old Pirates pitcher Chris Benson?
Oh, yeah.
Also wore number 39.
1-0 pitch in the dirt, 2-0 now to Travis Sankovic, the Mustang shortstop.
Sank batting .362, a homer and 8 RBIs. 5'10", 165 junior.
There's a shot again. This one's in left center, going over both players and making the catch. Running to his right is the center fielder, Dylan Urban. Had to go a long way for that one, but once again, that ball hung up a long time.
And despite the wind, both Conroy and Urban have done a nice job here in the bottom half of the first inning defensively for the Gators. 2 up, 2 down in this half inning, being brought to you by Larry Russman for North Union Township Supervisor.
So efficient first inning so far for Chris Dick. And there's a shot down third, and that is going to be a fair ball. Hudson Novak trying to dig it out, but long throw over by Austin Conroy to first baseman Justin Stankovic for Gateway, and that'll do it. Just 8 pitches in the inning. No runs for the Mustangs. We'll be back with the top of the second on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Esophageal reflux affects 20% of Americans and can lead to heartburn, regurgitation, chest pain, and difficulty swallowing. Reflux is caused by stomach contents passing a faulty valve and entering the esophagus. Ulcers and precancerous tissue can then form. Offer the latest testing and treatment for reflux disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Welcome back. Ready for the top half of the second inning. Leading off for Gateway will be Caleb Lehman, the catcher. Back on the hill, Noah Mankin in for a strike. I needed to correct myself on that last out of the first inning. Mark Caggiano over there at third base made the nice play deep in the hole. Long throw over to first for that third out. Breaking pitch outside, 1-1.
You're just getting back into town, Gary. Hopefully you had a nice trip down south this past week.
A lot of good weather. A couple rounds of golf. Didn't play very well, but 1-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball to straightaway center field. Hudson Novak camping under it and makes the two-hand grab for the first out of the inning.
First missed a long one down at McKeesport last Wednesday. Mustangs winning in 11 innings against the Tigers.
I was getting updates from you. Couldn't really get the feed while I was driving, but
I could imagine. We are on the internet as well. I could have your TuneIn radio app. Search WMBS.
Here's the first pitch to Austin Conroy, the left fielder for Gateway. Takes outside for ball one. Wind in the pitch from Mankin. Foul back to the screen. 1-1. As we said, opening up this game, very important for both teams, just trying to hang on for that last playoff spot in the section. 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch inside and high. 2-1 now.
And you look at the stretch run. We said the Mustangs and Gators will play 2 games against one another. And, of course, Laurel Highlands will have a rematch against Albert Gallatin next Monday here at Landman Field.
2-1 pitch on the way, inside and high, identical to the last pitch, 3-1.
That was certainly a tough loss for the Mustangs down in Smithfield last week against Albert Gallatin. And, of course, it comes down to a tiebreaker. If AG would get a win over Laurel Highlands here next Monday, that could get the Colonials into the postseason.
3-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball to left field. Greg Lancaster circling and does get under it to make the catch. Kind of had a little bit of problem with the wind there, but able to camp under it for the second out of the inning.
Game moving right along early on.
A lot of fly balls.
This half inning being brought to you by General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek.
Stepping in left-handed, the first baseman, Justin Stankovic. To face Noah Mankin. Fastball on the outside corner for strike one. So far, Mankin working ahead of most of the batters. Gets the signal from his battery mate, Chad Petrus. There's a curveball, nice curveball in the zone, fouled back for strike two.
The Mustangs 3 straight games this week. We mentioned these two teams will have a rematch at Gateway High School on Thursday, sandwiched in between. First place Greater Latrobe will pay a visit to Mustang Field here tomorrow.
Now way ahead, Mankin looking for the strikeout. Fastball just inside for ball one.
We'll have that game for you on the radio side tomorrow. Our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the air at 3:45. First pitch set for 4 o'clock. The Mustangs played Greater Latrobe close earlier on this season, a 1-run loss on the road back in early April.
There's a fastball that's fouled back over the screen to the right side. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes.
With the heavy winds outside today, we're positioned in the press box overlooking the Mustang dugout down the first base line here today. You can, of course, tell that on the television side, but I'd like to add that in for you folks listening on the radio side as well.
Little equipment malfunction back there for Chad, trying to reconnect everything.
Dick Witt, our home plate umpire.
And Noah Mankin has been working very quickly, so this kind of slowed things down. Like might be a glove problem. Well, no, it looks like the helmet. All fixed now. And we're ready to go. 1-2. Justin Stankovic.
Getting some assistance there from the backup catcher, Jeffrey Butler.
Mankin winds and deals. Here's the curveball, and that's dribbled foul again to the right side, right at the Mustang dugout.
Stankovic is batting .167. Gators junior playing first base here today.
Shaking off a couple signals now. Mankin had his mind made up what he wanted to deliver. Comes with the fastball, and that's ripped foul again over the Mustang dugout and the press box here.
Weather expected to be good tomorrow for Laurel Highlands game against Greater Latrobe. Might have some rain in the forecast, though, on Thursday.
1-2 pitch again. Curveball outside for ball 2. It's an 8-pitch at bat now for Stankovic. Mankin delivering again. Fastball fouled and almost caught there by Chad. Unable to pull it in, so he'll walk out and shake off a little bit of a stinger I think he had on his arm, not able to catch that foul ball.
Yeah, Stankovic just barely nipping that one.
You say Stankovic, I say
Stankovic, yes.
2-2 pitch about to be delivered by Noah Mankin. There's the pitch, just misses outside, full count. The battling in there, Justin Stankovic making Mankin work. It's close to being a 8 or 9 pitch inning. Now he's up to 18 pitches. There's a shot down the right field line, curving foul. Line drive shot well down the right field line, just hooking foul about 10 feet down the line. Keeps the count full. Nobody on here, 2 outs. Top half of the second inning, no out, no runs in for either team. 3-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So battling through that at bat by Stankovic. Noah Mankin gets the strikeout to end the 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Still no score here on the South Union Township Sports Network, WMBS, and the MSA Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Back again, bottom of the second inning on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS. First pitch from Chris Dick to Derek Gaisbauer, cleanup hitter this afternoon for the Mustangs, is a ball. There's a number foul, so 1-1 now to Derek Gaisbauer.
Mustangs retired 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first inning. A couple of flyouts for Arminio and Stankovic, and Novak retired 5-3 on the ground.
1-1 delivery on its way. Curveball in for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-2. Both teams trying to kind of find their way here. Not able to produce much hitting so far. And there's a pop-up in the infield. Heading over towards the fence and making the catch after circling about 15 feet in radius. That's the third baseman, Mark Caggiano. able to make the catch in foul territory for the first out.
And more of a swirling wind right now, Gary?
Seems like it. We saw Greg Lancaster kind of circle around one out in left field, and that time Caggiano went back first, then circled in at least about 20 feet. That will bring up the first baseman, Mason McManus. Try to get something going for the Mustang. Takes ball one high. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a swing and a miss. Strike one. 1-1.
McManus entered this game a .382 average, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. He's a 6'2", 195 junior. Just said playing first base here today.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss again. Good smoke on that fastball by Chris Dick. McManus slightly behind. Both pitchers working quickly. 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. And then that one went off umpire Dick Witt's face mask. He's okay.
That'll get you into the game real fast.
That'll wake you up, that's for sure. Had many of those. Still 1-2. Here's the delivery curveball, and there's a looper right over second base. Coming in quickly, going out, second baseman, and making the catch. Brandon Majoka makes the catch out in shallow center field. Coming in was Dylan Urban, but he was not able to make that catch, so nice play there by the second baseman for Gateway for the second out. Quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Brings up Ian Edenfield.
Gators defense has been solid so far.
First pitch outside for ball one.
This half inning being brought to you by the Uniontown Hospital, making a healthy difference in the lives they touch.
Of the 5 outs, of the 4 of them have been pop-ups. That one's high, 2-0.
The only ground out was Novak's 5-3 to end the first.
Dick winds and deals. That's in the dirt, 3-0. So Ian Edenfield trying to get something going here in the bottom half of the second with no score. No base runners for the Mustangs as of yet. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, 3-1.
Mustangs haven't played since they lost 6-1 against Thomas Jefferson on Friday.
3-1 pitch. There's a shot into right field, and moving about 2 feet to his right, making the catch out there is Brady Walker for Gateway. So another fly ball, another out. We're through 2. Perfect for Gateway. No score on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network, a Radcliffe and DeHaas Sports Afternoon.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
In any endeavor, experience is probably the most important factor, but it's got to be the right kind of experience. Experience in the community where the case is tried, where the jurors live, where the judges work. We've been doing this since 1976 at Davis and Davis. That's a long time.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
We're back for the top half of the third inning. At the plate for the Gateway Gators, Brendan Majaka, the second baseman, sophomore, batting .400 on this season, took ball one. The next pitch from Noah Mankin, high and inside, 2-0. Mankin to Majaka, just 2 hits so far this afternoon for the Gateway Gators. Brady Walker and Mark Caggiano hits to start off the game in the top half of the first inning. The Mustangs have been solid since. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike, and we're 2-1.
That first inning looming large now, Brian, with really not much action since. Gateway with 2 runners on, second and third, nobody out, and did not score.
Now Mankin set with the 2-1 here. That ball just fouled off by Majaka to even up the counts at 2-2. Mentioned Mankin, just 1 decision so far on this season. That was a win a couple of weeks ago. He's worked 6 2/3 innings so far this season, and there's Majaka with a pop-up here on the left side. Charging in Greg Lancaster, making the grab for the first out of this top half of the third inning, which is being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the Peachin Superfood Mart.
It's like a toaster game, Brian.
Yes.
A lot of pop-ups.
We've had the Gators with 4 already, and the Mustangs with 4 or 5 as well through 2 innings. Now the top of the order, Brady Walker swinging at the first pitch, sending it out to Hudson Novak in center field. Routine play there for Hudson, makes the grab, and just like that, 2 up, 2 down. Here in the top half of the third, this game's still scoreless. Laurel Highlands and Gateway. And we thank you for listening, whether you're tuning in to WMBS 590 AM, 101.1 FM, the MSA Sports Network, or on the South Union Township Sports Network. The Gators and the Mustangs battling for the 4th and final playoff spot out of Section 3 and 5A. Now Mark Caggiano at the plate. Caggiano had that shot down the third base line, which was ruled a single, advancing to second on the throw back in the first inning. Sends a line drive here. They'll drop in front of Hudson Novak in center field. So a 2-out single for Caggiano here in the top half of the third inning.
He just looks really comfortable with the plate, Brian, just stroking that ball. Ripped one down third, as you said, in the first inning, and that one was a line drive right over second base.
Easy to see now why he's batting .556 on the season. Now Dylan Urban, who entered the game with a .647 average, comes to the plate, and he'll get hit with the first pitch in the back. Now he'll trot down to first. Luckily for Urban, it was a breaking ball there from Mankin.
That moves a runner into scoring position, so not what Noah Mankin imagined after the 2 quick outs to start the inning.
Sun now peeking out from the clouds as Chris Dick comes to the plate. Dick grounded out 5-3 back in the first inning. Mankin out from the stretch, glances back at second. First pitch here to Dick is low for ball 1.
Another big spot now for Noah Mankin. Keep it close or keep it even at no runs on either side.
Mill. Caggiano at second, Urban on first. Now the 1-0 for Mankin. That one low again. Count out 2-0 here to Chris Dick, with Mike Voynick due up next. Dick, the 5th Gator to bat here in this top half of the third inning. Mankin again glances back at second. Next pitch on the way to Dick. Swing and a miss there. Count out 2-1.
Nice pitch there by Noah Mankin. Kept it low, down around the knees. Just a little bit of a breaking ball. Changed speeds. Had Dick out in front.
Both these pitchers looking confident early on now. Dick stepping out. And Mankin will regroup on the mound as well. Noah again from the stretch. 2-1 here to Chris Dick. A breaking ball ruled a strike right at the knees to even up the count at 2-2.
Chris Dick looked back incredulously to the umpire. Didn't like that one.
Really cut down there at the last second. Now Mankin trying to finish off Dick. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball high and inside, and we'll go full 3-2.
And that's going to allow the runners to take off as soon as Mankin goes to the plate, and really gives a huge opportunity to score on any kind of a single into the outfield.
Mustangs need a strike here, and that 3-2 pitch high and inside for ball 4.
Actually, it hit him. It hit him, yes, so that makes it a dead ball.
It did clip him.
Second hit by pitch in as many at-bats. Urban before him, Dick then following. And that time, he kind of pulled his hands up as if he's going to take the ball inside, and it just grazed him right across the letters.
We'll get a courtesy runner now in here for Dick, the pitcher. That'll be number 11, Eric Dawkins, the senior.
So a 2-hit batsman, I think that's a situation that could cause a problem for Mankin if he hits another one.
Now Scott DeBerry's going to come out and have a little chat here with Noah Mankin and his battery. Now bringing Tanner Minio over as well from third base to join in the discussion. This game's still scoreless, but Gateway threatening after the Mustangs recorded the first 2 outs of the inning, retiring Brendan Majak and Brady Walker on fly ball outs to the outfield. Mark Caggiano single to center, and Dylan Urban and Chris Dick both getting plunked. Have loaded up the bases here for Mike Voynick. The junior came into the game with a .206 average and 8 RBIs. Will be the 6th Gator to bat here in this top half of the third inning as we work still in a scoreless game. Gateway and Laurel Highlands, 5A WPIAL high school baseball action here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the MSA Sports Network on this Tuesday afternoon. Noah Mankin now set to go, facing Mike Voynick, with the wind continuing to swirl here at Landman Field. First pitch to Voynick, and a line drive here to right center field. And it'll drop in between Derek Gasebauer and Hudson Novak. This could be big-time trouble. 2 already across. And the courtesy runner Dawkins will hold up at third. It'll be a stand-up double for Mike Voynick and a pair of RBIs for the Gators junior.
He just placed that perfectly between center field and right field. Neither Gasebauer nor Novak had any opportunity to catch that, and actually got by both of them to allow him to scoot in with the 2 RBI double, and now 2 runners continuing to be in scoring position for Caleb Lehman.
Caggiano and Urban scoring on the play, and as you said, Caleb Lehman now coming to the plate. He'll take the first pitch high for ball 1. Lehman flew out to Hudson Novak to lead off the top half of the second inning. Now he's the 7th Gator to bat here in the top half of the third, with 2 runs across here for Gateway in this half inning. And Mankin's 1-0 pitch now to Lehman is low for ball 2.
All this happening with 2 outs, Brian.
Just as it appeared that Noah Mankin was really cruising in this game. Gave up those 2 hits early on in the top half of the first inning to Walker and Caggiano. But after that, it had retired 8 straight. But now getting into a jam with 4 straight Gators reaching base safely. And another pitch missing the strike zone there. And just like that, we're 3-0.
Looks like some activity going to be happening in the Mustang bullpen. Scurrying down the line. Couple Mustangs.
Now
was a balk, I believe. Nope, they didn't call it. He stepped out. The batter had stepped out, and time was called, and that kind of saved Mankin. Otherwise, that would have been a balk because he was starting into his motion and just kind of stopped.
Now try to regroup again. Needing a strike here. 3-0 pitch on the way, high and inside, and just like that, another walk. After 2 hits batsmen earlier on this inning, Mankin having some control issues. That'll load up the bases here for Austin Conroy. As Gary said, we have some Mustang activity down in the bullpen. Unfortunately, with our broadcast location here above the Mustang dugout, we don't have a view as far as who's throwing down there for Laurel Highlands, but they are loosening up some bodies in case they're needed here in the top half of the third innings. We'll get a courtesy runner here. Jordan Stankovic coming on to run here for the catcher Lehman.
Bases loaded again, and just extra outs provided by the Mustangs have really come back to haunt them this inning.
They have Austin Conroy at the plate. The left fielder swings and misses at the first pitch. Conroy's looking for his first hit of the season. Now 0 for 8, the senior.
Probably not what his coaching staff had in mind there after the 4-pitch walk to Lehman.
One
you
pitch.
Thought he would be taken, but now it's 1-1.
Yeah, that pitch low and outside. Talking to Bill Stoops, Gateway's head coach, before the game, he said his team a little short-handed here today. Didn't have a couple of bodies they normally have in the lineup, and that's maybe one of the reasons you see Conroy in there. Again, entering the game with only 7 at-bats so far this season, and he popped up to Greg Lancaster back in the second inning. Now the count here, 2-1.
24 pitches in the inning already for Mankin.
Now a little check over at first. Very close there, but back safely the courtesy runner Stankovic. And, of course, nowhere for him to go, Gary, with the bases loaded.
I'm not sure. That was a little bit of a called play by the Mustangs. Sneaking in behind there was McManus.
Now the 2-1 on the way. High and inside. A little chin music there.
Almost hit him with the brim of the batting helmet, and now nowhere to put Conroy.
It Right on that little meeting here on the mound, and you wonder if Mankin walks in Conroy here, if that might be it for him. Of course, we mentioned so much on the line here. Laurel Highlands just a half-game lead over Albert Gallatin and a game lead over Gateway for that final playoff spot in the conference. But, of course, the Mustangs at this point of the season would lose the tiebreaker to Albert Gallatin, and a loss here to the Gators. They'd also lose that tiebreaker as well as the walk-in a run here as the 3-1 pitch low to Austin Conroy. So Conroy picking up an RBI walk and a run scored for the courtesy runner Eric Dawkins, excuse me.
That'll bring up Justin Stankovic, the 9th batter, to come to the plate here after 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. Things just fell apart for Mankin. 3 runs in already.
And now you have Chad Petrus coming out again to talk to Mankin. You wonder if this is just buying some time here for maybe the Mustang bullpen to get loose. They batted around now. Justin Stankovic, the 9th Gator to bat here in this half inning. His brother Jordan, a courtesy runner, now on second base. Bases remain loaded. Mustangs trying to get out of this inning with any farther damage being done, and Mankin again continues to have control issues. That first pitch low to Justin.
Stankovic struck out in the 2nd inning to end the 2nd inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Mankin.
As he looks at third, delivers the 1-0, and this ball popped up, though, in foul territory. Mustangs able to get a defensive play on it, leaving up the count, though, at 1-1. Mustangs now have to get the bats going in the bottom half of the 3rd after yielding at least 3 here in the top half of the inning.
You're right about that, Brian. The Mustangs unable to reach yet against Dick.
1-1 pitch, high and outside. Down now 2-1. And Justin came into the game with a 167 average. Big spot here for him to up that number a little bit. 2-1 on the way. That one fouled back by Stankovic. Evens up the count at 2-2. And these two teams will meet at Gateway High School on Thursday. We'll bring you the game here on WMBS. Tony Hanula will join me for that one. Gary's with me tomorrow for the Mustangs in Greater Latrobe. 2-2 pitch on the way. Another breaking ball, fouled off. Count remains at 2-2.
Stankovic stayed back on that one. Nice little change of pace. Pulled the string on it. Much slower speed, and had him out in front, but just got a little bit of it to stay alive.
Mankin seems like he's taking a little bit off those pitches just to try to get some control back at this juncture of the game.
Looks like Edenfield down there warming up, Brian.
He pitched well in relief at McKeesport last Wednesday. 2-2 here. Another pitch fouled back. Justin doing a nice job to stay alive. And Tony and I talked to Scott DeBerry about Ian Edenfield. I think the reason we didn't see him more on the mound to start the season, Gary, he was late getting here. Of course, very busy with his successful wrestling season, making it all the way to the state finals.
That's not an easy transition from wrestling to baseball.
2-2 again, and another pitch fouled off. And if he would have got here a little bit, I think, earlier in the season, it would have given the Mustangs another arm to work with during the first few weeks. And the McKeesport game was his first official action of the season. Count remaining here at 2-2. Mankin set to go again, and that pitch high and outside. So now a full count pitch here to Justin Stankovic. With the bases loaded, 3 already across here for the Gators as they lead at 3-0 in the top half of the 3rd. And I think Mankin needs a strike here if he wants to remain in the game. Payoff pitch on the way. That's low and outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks, and actually 3 straight walks, but back-to-back walks resulting in runs being scored, and that's going to be it for Noah Mankin. Scott DeBerry making his second trip out here in this half inning, and we'll see a pitching change on the Laurel Highlands side. So we'll step aside for a quick timeout as well. Here in the law firm of Franklin Medihas High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. We're back here at Landman Field. New pitcher for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Ian Edden. Worked 5 2/3 innings against McKeesport last Wednesday. Gave up just 1 run. It was unearned. Struck out 4, walked 2. That was his first official outing of the season. Now coming in here with the Mustangs down 4-0, bases loaded, and the 10th Gator to bat here in this half inning, Brendan Majaka.
First one in there for a strike.
Big pitch there for Ian Edenfield. Majaka led off the inning, flying out to Greg Lancaster out there in left field.
Seemed like a long time ago.
You're right on that. 0-1, and there for a strike again. And Edenfield looking impressive, just like he did in that extra inning win for the Mustangs at McKeesport last Wednesday. Edenfield did not pick up a decision in that game. Threw almost 90 pitches in relief. Breaking ball there, fouled off. Greg Lancaster came on and picked up the win in the 11th inning.
Just 2 2/3 innings for Noah Mankin through 67 pitches.
Wow. How many of those were in this inning?
35.
Wow. Count remaining here, 0-2. Edenfield to Majaka. Maybe a throwaway pitch there high. Count out 1-2. And Justin Stankovic on first, Austin Conroy on second. And Jordan Stankovic, the courtesy runner for Caleb Lehman, down at third. 4 runs already across here in this half inning. 1-2 pitch now on the way, and that is just inside. To even up the count at 2-2, didn't miss by much.
Tough one to take there for Brendan.
The count remaining 2-2. Edenfield focused. 2-2 on the way, and this ball popped up down on the right side. Coming over and making the grab, Derek Gasebauer to end the inning, but the Gators send 10 men to the plate, pick up 4 runs, and heading to the bottom half of the third, it's Gateway 4, Laurel Highlands nothing here in the lawn from Franklin Medihas High School Sports Day on WMBS and on the MSA Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. Chad Petras taking a strike to lead off this bottom half of the third inning. The Mustangs down 4-0 to the Gateway Gators, and Laurel Highlands, Gary, still without a hit.
Chris Dick perfect through 2 innings.
0-1 on the way here, and Chad pops this one up at foul territory, and just like that, the count moving to 0-2 this half inning, being brought to you by Ted Silva and Son Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood.
And although Chris Dick has not given up a hit, the Mustangs have put the ball in play with every opportunity. Here's another one.
Ground ball here to short, played by Voynick over to first to Justin Stankovic for the out. Petrus retired 6-3 for the first out of this bottom half of the third. You're right, the Mustangs getting the bat on the ball, just haven't been able to pick up a hit so far in this game. 7 up, 7 down now with Josh Burns coming to the plate. The Mustang Junior enters play here today with 6 RBIs on the season, 5'8", 160 pounds. We said playing second base. First pitch from Dick. A lot of heat on that one, but missed for ball 1.
Mustang bats need to come alive.
1-0 now. Fastball low. 2-0 now to Josh Burns. Laurel Highlands giving up 4 runs in the top half of the third inning. As you told me, Gary, off the air, Gateway only 2 hits during that whole inning. Burns swings and misses here. Count now 2-1.
Never a good thing to give extra outs. 2 hit batsmen and 3 walks, surrounded by a single and a double.
And all of it occurred with 2 outs in the inning. Majaka and Walker were retired to start the inning. And you had 7 straight Gators reach base safely before Majaka popped up for the second time in the inning to end things in the top half of the third. Now the count here 2-2 to Josh Burns, and the pitch from Dick is popped up by Burns here on the right side, and Justin Stankovic on, the first baseman, to make the grab for the second out of the inning. F3 and 2 away with Greg Lancaster coming to the plate. Greg struggled at the plate against McKeesport on Wednesday, and the Mustangs took him out of the batting lineup against TJ on Friday, but he's back in here today, batting .286 for the season, showing bunt. And he was scored around and ruled strike 1.
Coming in quickly, now staying in on the grass infield, first baseman Justin Stankovic and third baseman Mark Caggiano for the Gators.
0-1. That pitch just off the plate to even up the count at 1-1. Mustangs looking for something to get things going.
Outfield playing really shallow also.
That one popped up here on the right side in foul territory. Over the fence and out of play. Now 2 strikes on Greg Lancaster.
And although the Mustangs have been putting it in play, nothing really sharply hit.
No. Most of the fly ball outs we've seen in the outfield have been right at guys like Austin Conroy, Dylan Urban, and Brady Walker. Lancaster takes one there high. Count at 1-2.
Gateway pitcher Chris Dick, pretty efficient now through 2 2/3.
Breaking ball there, missing low. Even up the count at 2-2.
Just 8 pitches in the first inning, 14 in the second, and at 14 right now here in the third.
Set with the 2-2 here to Lancaster. Fastball.
Takes ball 4.
Ball 4. So it must have been 3-2. Scoreboard had 2-2. Must have missed one along the way, and Lancaster will take it.
Gateway catcher Lehman was running into the dugout with that one.
And the Gators thought they had strike 3. No signal from Dick Witt.
Gateway did all their damage with 2 outs. Let's see what the Mustangs can do now. Lancaster on it first.
The first base runner of the game for Laurel Highlands now. Tanner Arminio coming to the plate, and Arminio just nubs this one. Played by the catcher Lehman. A little bit high on the throw, but Stankovic bringing it down to retire Arminio for the third out of the innings. The Mustangs strand Lancaster. Laurel Highlands still without a hit, heading to the top half of the fourth, down 4-0 here on the line from Radcliffe and Dehas High School Sports Day.
Anemia occurs when one has a low number of blood cells and becomes weak, tired, and pale. Blood loss anemia warrants a careful exam of the digestive tract with traditional GI scopes and sometimes with pill scope technology. Offer the latest diagnostic testing for blood loss anemia. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
We're back for the top half of the fourth inning. Leading off for the Gateway Gators, the top of the order, Brady Walker, already his third plate appearance of the game. He's 1 for 2 today. Behind 0-1 here against Ian Edenfield, who came on in relief for the Mustangs last half inning, and Walker with a pop-up here. And in shallow center field, it's the shortstop Tanner Minio. Or check that, the shortstop Travis Sankovic making the grab for the first out of the inning. And Walker retired.
Looked like there was going to be a meeting right at that fly ball. Lancaster coming from left, Hudson Novak from center. Just at the last second, Sankovic called him off to make the catch.
Now Mark Caggiano at the plate. He's 2 for 2 today. Swings here at the first pitch. Ground ball to first should be routine here for the Mustangs. McManus making the play himself. 3 unassisted. Just like that, 2 up, 2 down. Here in the Gators half of the fourth inning, which is being brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Regardless of your legal problem, Davis & Davis promises you personalized, friendly hometown service. And now Dylan Urban coming to the plate here with 2 outs and nobody on. Urban was hit by a pitch and scored a run last time up. Breaking ball here from Edenfield, finds the strike zone, 0-1. Urban popped up back in the first inning, and that was a play that was ruled out for interference, I believe, Gary.
That's correct.
Pitch there, missing low. Count now 1-1. Of course, the Gators doing all of their damage in the top half of the third inning with 2 outs. Sending 7 straight men to the plate that reached base safely, including 3 walks that were issued and 2 hit batsmen. You also had the Caggiano single and the Voynich double sandwiched in between. Here's a line drive on the left side, dropping in for another hit. Lancaster charging on from left field, rounding first. Now back towards the bag, there is Dylan Urban. So Urban picks up his first hit of the game. A single to left field here with 2 outs in the top half of the fourth to give the Gators another base runner as Gateway leads it 4-0.
Here we go with 2 outs again, Brian. Hopefully Ian Edenfield can put the stops to this right now.
Chris Dick now at the plate. Dick grounded out in the first inning, was hit by a pitch last inning, grounds one here to Sankovic, sends it over to Josh Burns at second to get the out 6-4 to retire the lead runner Dylan Urban. So we'll head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Still 4-0 Gators over the Mustangs here in the law firm of Ratcliffe and Dehas High School Sports Day.
You don't have to travel to Pittsburgh to get good representation. We've been doing it since 1976. We've been successful. We can help you right here at home.
We know the nuances of the legal system in Uniontown and Fayette County. We know the nuances of the legal system in Waynesburg and in Washington.
We know the system. We know where the courthouse is, and we know where to park. And at our office, you can park for free.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
The Mustangs still without a hit as we move to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Gateway 4, Laurel Highlands 0. Chris Dick still on the mound facing Travis Sankovic to lead off this bottom half of the fourth inning. And Sank takes ball 1 low from Chris Dick. The lone Mustangs base runner, Greg Lancaster, back in the bottom half of the third inning, who reached via a walk. And Dick finding the strike zone there to even up the count to Sankovic at 1-1. Sank came into the game with a .362 average, flew out to Dylan Urban in center field. Back in the first inning, takes the 1-1 pitch here high. Got now a 2-1.
Big at bat here for Sankovic. Number 2 in the lineup. Just need to get runners on with nobody out.
Now had 3-1 as Dick's 2-1 pitch was low. Mustangs was looking for a little momentum, as Gary said, just trying to get something going here, down 4 midway through this game, and Stankovic, a well-hit ball here, deep to right center field, backing up and making the grab, the center fielder Dylan Urban for the first out of the inning. So twice now in this game, Stankovic has sent fly balls out to center field that have been caught by Dylan Urban, and just like that, one away.
That ball was well hit, deep to right center field. And as you said, Urban had to go back a long way, just about 5 feet in front of the fence, but turns into a routine out again.
And the wind really hasn't played as much of a factor as I thought coming in, Gary, at least so far.
Well, certainly not blowing out.
We'll see if that changes now with Hudson Novak coming to the plate. He'll take ball 1 high. Novak grounded out 5-3 to end the bottom half of the first inning.
Outfield playing very deep for Hudson.
And Dick continuing to work quickly. Next pitch to Novak is low. To Novak working ahead here. This half inning may be brought to you by Republic Food Enterprise Center and the Fayette County Community Action Agency. Now Dick with the 2-0 here to Hudson Novak, and Novak pops this one up. Backing up is the second baseman Majaka, but it's actually going to be the right fielder Brady Walker that's going to make the grab for the second out of this bottom half of the fourth inning.
Really?
Majaka faked me out a little bit the way he was backing up. I thought he was going to make a play on that ball, but Walker came charging in from right field to retire Novak. So 2 up, 2 down. The Mustangs still being no hit with Derek Gasebauer coming to the plate.
Derek with a long home run in that Albert Gallatin game. Put the Mustangs up at that point, but to no avail as the Albert Gallatin Colonials came back to win that game in the 6th inning.
Derek taking ball 1 here low. Second pitch also low. 2-0 now. As Dick's been solid here for Gateway. Blanking the Mustangs, only giving up the walk back in the 3rd inning to Greg Lancaster. Derek Gasebauer had 2-0 here against Dick. And Gasebauer, a line drive here deep to left field. And making the grab from his knees is Austin Conroy for the 3rd out of the inning. So 3 times in this half inning, the Mustangs send fly balls to the outfield. But Conroy, Urban, and Walker doing a nice job out there for the Gateway Gators. We'll head to the top half of the 5th. Still 4-0 Gateway over Laurel Highlands here in the line from Franklin Medihas High School Sports Day.
WPIAL and the South Union Township Sports Network in Uniontown.
Mike Voynick leading off the top half of the 5th for the Gateway Gators. Gateway leads Laurel Highlands 4-0. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupé with Nick Barchak back at WMBS Central. And Ian Edenfield coming high and inside here to Mike Voynick.
Big double back in the 3rd inning when Gateway put up those 4 runs. 2 RBI double for Voynick with the bases loaded.
Edenfield from more of a stretch position here. 1-0 pitch. Voynick sends it on the ground to Stankovic at short. Over to first to Mason McManus for the first out of this top half of the 5th inning. 6-3. Caleb Lehman will come to the plate. Lehman walked last time up back in the 3rd inning after flying out to Hudson Novak back in the 2nd.
One of those RBI walks.
Correct. This half inning being brought to you by Tim Dye for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County. Lehman entered the game with just a 136 average and 4 RBIs. The Gators so far having a successful trip to Fayette County, trying to keep their WPIAL playoff hopes alive. First pitch rolled high and inside there to Caleb Lehman. Count at 1-0. The Gators coming off a playoff appearance a year ago in Quad A under a 4 classification system. Got ousted at Pine Richland in the first round. That pitch from Edenfield in there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1 to, actually 0-2 to Caleb Lehman, excuse me. Gateway had a couple of lean years, going 1-12 in 2014 and 1-13 in 2013. Certainly on the upswing again. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss there. Actually, I was right, Gary. It was even at 1-1. Scoreboard faked me out. They had 0-2.
Can't believe you questioned yourself.
No, I know. I do that too much. I'm going to go with my initial instinct. Thought I might have missed something. That pitch is low, even if they counted 2-2.
You were wrong once. That was the time you thought you were wrong.
Yeah. I can tell you've been off for a week saving a lot of these one-liners, huh? Talking about the toaster earlier, wide open spaces. All kinds of good one-liners. Swing and a miss there, and that's it for Caleb Lehman.
Hey, what do you say, what's five?
And for Edenfield, that's his first strikeout of the game. Third for Mustang pitchers. Of course, Edenfield coming on in relief of Noah Mankin during that third inning where the Gators scored 4 runs and sent 10 men to the plate. Now Austin Conroy coming to the plate here with 2 outs. The top half of the 5th. Taking the first pitch inside for ball 1 for Ian Edenfield. Mustangs need a little momentum, Gary.
Absolutely. It's kind of dead. I mean, the Mustangs are kind of sleepwalking their way through this, especially on the offensive side. Gateway's really not doing a whole lot to help themselves, but the Mustangs certainly have provided the opportunities for them to go out to this 4-0 lead.
That ball sent foul. You don't have much of a crowd here. The cooler temperatures and windy conditions outside. Certainly quiet. He's more quiet than we're accustomed to here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. Austin Conroy at the plate here for the Gators with 2 outs. The Gators up 4-0. Pops it up here, and the catch made by Josh Burns. Working off to his right to make the grab to end the inning. So a 1-2-3 top half of the 5th for the Gators. Still lead Laurel Highlands 4-0. Here in the lot from Franklin Diaz High School Sports Day. Mason McManus leading off the bottom half of the 5th inning for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Laurel Highlands still looking for their first hit of the afternoon as McManus swings and misses at the first pitch there from Chris Dick.
And Chris very efficient through the first 4 innings, just 50 pitches.
Here's pitch number 52 on the way. The 0-1 here. Breaking ball fouled off by Mason McManus. McManus behind 0-2. McManus popped up to Brendan Majaka back in the 2nd inning. It's really a key game for Laurel Highlands to stay in the playoff hunt. And the Mustangs entered a half game up over Albert Gallatin for the 4th and final playoff spot in the conference as McManus takes the 0-2 pitch low, counting out 1-2. But a loss here would have the Mustangs losing tiebreakers to both Gateway and Albert Gallatin for that 4th and final playoff spot in the conference. McManus goes around, might have foul tipped it, and the catcher here, Lehman, will make the throw down to first to Justin Stankovic to officially put it in the books as an out and 1 away here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Actually, that ball was in the dirt in front of home plate and really fooled McManus on that one. Just went around and had no chance to hit that ball. Bounced in front of the catcher, Lehman, and he had to make the throw to first.
This half inning may be brought to you by Russ Blejo, your local Allstate insurance agent. Remember, you're in good hands with Russ Blejo and Allstate. Now, Ian Edenfield coming to the plate, takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
First strikeout for Chris Dick. Of the 13 outs, 9 by way of fly ball, Brian.
Yeah, certainly has been efficient. There's another ball right back at Dick. He'll make the throw over to first. That gets away from the first baseman, Justin Stankovic. Now sliding back into the bag is Ian Edenfield. You going to call that an error on the throw, Gary?
Have to. That ball was just dribbled right out in front of home plate. Ian barely got the bat on it. Rolled about halfway to the pitcher's mound, and Ian, give him credit, ran it out. Ball was in the dirt, unable to be picked up there by Stankovic. Alertly backing up on the play was Brendan Majaka, and they almost had a play back at first base as Edenfield made a move towards second.
Now Dylan Bond will be the courtesy runner here for Edenfield, the Mustang pitcher. So Laurel Highlands is with a base runner, maybe trying to get something going. Down 4-0. Laurel Highlands has had a tough time at the plate as of late. We mentioned coming off of that 6-1 loss here at home against Thomas Jefferson on Friday. And now Chad Petrus at the plate takes the first pitch for ball 1. These two teams were scheduled to play on Saturday. That game got rained out. The Mustangs then were scheduled to play at Woodland Hills on Monday. That game also postponed because of rain. Another quick throw back over at first. Dick actually fell off the mound on the throw.
Just kind of got his feet caught there. Little awkward move, fell backwards after he made the throw to first.
Bonner, the courtesy runner, though. Back safely. Now Dick from the stretch. Next pitch to Chad inside. And that clipped him.
Just caught his jersey.
So now 2 on with 1 out for Laurel Highlands. Edenfield reaching on the air, and Chad Petrus hit. Now Josh Burns will come to the plate with the Mustangs down 4-0. Maybe this will be the inning. The Laurel Highlands can get something going. Trying to work their way back into this game. This half inning being brought to you by Ron Landman for North Union Township Supervisor.
Probably another courtesy runner here for the catcher, Chad Petrus.
He's run, though, for himself, Gary, as of late.
So it looks like they are going to let him stay in and run as Josh Burns is at the plate. Mustangs trying to cut into this 4-0 lead.
And we saw him over the last couple of games run for himself. He'll stay out there again with a big lead off first, with the first baseman, Stankovic, playing in a little bit here. With Burns at the plate. Do you think the Mustangs would play a little small ball here, Gary, down 4?
I don't think they can afford to. They need to move these guys around.
Burns taking a pitch there at the knees, count even at 1-1.
Heading down the line there to warm up is Brian Reed for Gateway.
Dick still has not given up a hit in this game. And now Burns taking another pitch for a strike behind 1-2. A big spot for Laurel Highlands trying to work their way back into this contest. Down 4-0. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. The Mustangs with 2 on, 1-2 pitch. Burns hits it on the ground. This could be 2 as the second baseman makes the tag of Chad Petrus. That's Majaka, and then throws over to Justin Stankovic at first to retire Burns. So it goes 4-3 on the double play. And Majaka tagging out Petrus, throwing over to first to retire Burns. That'll do it for the bottom half of the 5th. So still 4-0 Gators as we head to the top half of the 6th here on the lawn firm of Ratcliffe & Ehas High School Sports Day.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Here we go with the top half of the 6th inning. Gateway still hanging on to the 4-0 lead. Mustangs yet to have a hit against the Gateway pitcher Chris Dick. And stepping in to lead off will be Justin Stankovic. Struck out in the 2nd and walked in the 3rd to bring in the 4th run. There's a shot into right field, curving, foul. As I leaned against the unit.
I was wondering what's going on over there. Hopefully we're still on.
Leaning out of the press box, trying to see that down the right field line, just hit the keyboard.
I'm sure Nick will let us know if we're off.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from the stretch is Edenfield. That's in for strike 2 on the outside corner. Breaking pitch from Ian.
As long as you didn't hit the disconnect button.
Nope, we're still good. 0-2 count. Edenfield with the pitch foul back over the bleachers behind the third base dugout, and that hit someone's Ford Explorer right in the windshield back there.
That's no good.
Still 0-2. Here's the pitch. Piece again, dribbled this one down the first base line for a foul ball. Remains 0-2.
Mustang's schedule for the rest of the way, again, will host Greater Latrobe here at Landman Field tomorrow, 4 o'clock start, and then travel to Gateway on Thursday, another 4 o'clock game.
0-2 pitch again, way out in front, but still getting a piece is Stankovic. Hangs in there, 0-2.
Next week, the Mustangs will host Albert Gallatin here on Monday, 4 o'clock start. Make up that rain out from that game against Woodland Hills at Woodland Hills Tuesday of next week at 4 o'clock, and then have the Senior Day game here against Uniontown next Wednesday.
Oh, good change of pace there by Edenfield. Petras dropped it, and he'll have to flip it down to McManus, but that's a strikeout to start the 6th inning. Brings up Brendan Majoka.
Second strikeout of the game for Edenfield, and the 4th for Mustang pitchers. Gateway had Brian Reed warming up last half inning, but I have to think they're going to stick with Dick with him still without yielding a hit in this game.
65 pitches. Edenfield, first pitch to Majoka.
Majoka 0 for 2 today. 2 fly ball outs. 1 out to Brady Walker, and the other out, or 1 out to Derek Gasebauer, the other one out to Greg Lancaster.
1 ball delivery. This little dribbler over towards the on-deck circle for a strike, 1-1.
A tough game just for Laurel Highlands to really get anything going. A couple of times, including last half inning with 2 runners on and 1 out. You thought this might be a chance for them to really make some hay, but it's been a quiet afternoon out there for the Mustangs.
Top of the 6th inning, only an hour and 20 in. 1-1 pitch, just a little bit low for ball 2.
Again, pitching will be a factor again for the Mustangs this week with games on 3 consecutive days, and they'll be in the same situation next week as well, assuming the weather holds off.
So Edenfield will not be available tomorrow. That one's high and tight, spins Majoka out of the way, makes it 3-1.
Of course, some rain in the forecast on Thursday, so you have to wonder if the Mustangs will be able to play the game at Gateway on Thursday.
We'll have to check with Jerry for the forecast.
He's usually on top of it.
3-1 pitch from Edenfield. That's outside for ball 4. So first walk issued by Ian since he came in the 3rd inning. Puts a runner on with 1 out. And the top of the lineup back for Gateway. Brian Walker singled in the 1st, flew out to deep center in the 3rd, and popped up to the shortstop in the 4th.
Brady 1 for 3 today.
Big lead over here now for second baseman for Gateway. First pitch to Walker, low and outside for a ball.
Certainly some separation atop the conference. Greater Latrobe still without a conference loss, 11-0 in the conference, 13-2 overall. Franklin Regional and TJ sitting pretty, tied for second place at 7-3 respectively. So the battle really on for that fourth and final playoff spot. The Mustangs entering play today at 4-5. Albert Gallatin at 4-6. Gateway at 3-6. Woodland Hills at 2-6. McKeesport out of the mix now at 0-9.
This would really jam things up if Gateway was able to finish this one off and pull out the win. One out, runner on first. Here's a pitch, and he goes, swing and a miss. That's going to be a foul ball. So we'll have to bring Brendan Majoka back to first.
It's one of only 2 games scheduled for today. TJ playing at Franklin Regional, and that game will decide second place in the conference for now. Bunch of makeup games, though, from yesterday from around the WPIAL, including Connellsville hosting Penn Trafford today, and Uniontown hosting McGuffey down at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood.
See if Majoka goes again. No, he doesn't. There's a pop-up behind home plate, behind the screen. Makes it count. 2-2, I believe.
His scoreboard certainly off, showing 0-2 for the moment. You got to trust yourself, Gary.
Edenfield steps off, regroups. Brady Walker at the plate, runner going. There's a shot into left field. That's going to be fair ball. Coming over to pick it up is Lancaster. Has to get it in quickly as the runner was moving on the play, and that will go in as a double for Brady Walker. Puts runners at second and third with just 1 out. Ball just kind of died out there after it landed in the thick grass down the left field line. Joka was on the run with the pitch, so he's into third easily. And smartly running into second was Walker, and that'll bring up Mark Caggiano.
He already has a pair of hits in this game as well, including a run scored back in the third inning.
There's a shot back to shortstop Sankovic, and makes a great play playing in on the grass infield. Had to go down to one knee and kind of block that. Big out there on the first pitch, swinging by Marquette. Excuse me.
Caggiano. That was certainly a tough play, as you
something
said.
In my throat there, Mark Caggiano.
Right. It's certainly a tough play, as you said, for Sankovic, but positioned himself well on the edge of the grass and made the throw over to McManus to retire Caggiano. And now 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th.
Brings up Dylan Urban. Thanks, Brian.
No problem.
Ball inside for ball 1 to Dylan Urban. Popped up in the first, called out on interference, hit by a pitch in the third, and singled back in the fourth. Was out on a fielder's choice. There's a high fly ball to left field. Lancaster circling, and makes the 2-hand catch to end the inning. No damage. Gateway leaves 2 runners on second and third. The Mustangs need to get something going here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll be back. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS and the MSA Sports Network.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
We're back. It's the bottom half of the 6th inning. Mustangs trailing 4-0. First pitch to Greg Lancaster leading off the bottom of the 6th is low and outside from Chris Dick, working on a no-hitter. There's a shot over the dugout down here on the right side for a strike, 1-1. Mustangs with no hits and just 1 base runner.
Our producer Nick told us it's getting late early out at Mustang Field today.
Curveball in for a strike. Strike that 2 base runners for the Mustangs, but the second one was erased on a double play, so just one official runner left on base. There's a little ground ball to second base, up with it on to first for the out. That was Majoka over to Stankovic. I think we might have a new first baseman. We do. That's Reed.
Okay. He was warming up, we thought, coming maybe to pitch.
So we just caught that, so strike that. Stankovic not at first base. That is Reed, number 26.
We'll make that adjustment in our scorebooks as well.
As Tanner Mineo will come in with 1 out. High pitch from King for ball 1.
This half inning being brought to you by the Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500.
1-0 pitch. High also 2-0.
Mustangs, after their tough week, dropped down to the MSA Sports Top 10 poll this past week.
2-0 pitch in for a strike at the knees. Taking all the way there was Tanner Mineo.
Greater Latrobe, their opponent tomorrow, currently number 2 behind West Allegheny in 5A.
Strike 2 called at the knees. Chris Dick getting the call on that one.
You go back to last year, Laurel Highlands actually the number 1 seed in the AAA high school baseball playoffs. Unfortunately got upended against Chartiers Valley in that quarterfinal round.
2-2 pitch, low and inside for ball 3. Full count now to Tanner Mineo. Trying to get things going. There's a shot to left field. Another fly ball coming over and making the catch in the webbing of his glove, just diving out to his left. And let's see.
That was Austin Conroy.
Conroy out there. Let's make sure that there wasn't any change out there. I think that's still him. It is.
Yes.
Austin Conroy just kind of misjudged that, or maybe that was a windblown ball. He just ranged to his left and at the last second dove out and grabbed it in the webbing for the second out. Still no hits for the Mustangs. With 2 outs, Travis Stankovic will step in now and take ball 1 high and inside.
We've been doing the Mustang games for 10 years. Never remember Laurel Highlands getting no hit in a game, Gary. At least since we've been covering
I
it.
cannot recall one either. Low and in the dirt, 2-0. Stankovic trying to get something moving for the Mustangs. Outside.
I think Luke Paul here last year, didn't he throw a no-hitter for the Mustangs?
He did. Here's the pitch, high and outside for ball 4. So Stankovic does get aboard with the 4-pitch walk with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
And of course, we're on the other side of this for Laurel Highlands. You want to keep talking about that no-no that's sitting there and hoping maybe something can get broken up here and allow the Mustangs to get back into this game. Still down 4-0 as we work here in the bottom half of the 6th.
And Novak with his 3rd appearance. Now a balk called.
Wow.
And that will move Stankovic into scoring position at second base for Hudson Novak. Chris Dick just losing a little bit of concentration there. Stepped off inappropriately, causing the balk. Novak, there's a shot to right field. Another high fly ball, but under it. Now the wind blowing and blowing it back almost over the fence. As he ran into the fence, the right fielder,
he caught it, though.
Barry Walker grabbed it, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. As he was making the catch, he just ran into the right field fence. I never thought that had any chance of being that deep, and it just kept carrying and carrying. But Walker makes a great catch out there in right field to retire the Mustangs in the 6th inning. Still no runs for the Mustangs, and they trail Gateway 4-0 on to the 7th here on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and live to tape on the South Union Township Sports Network. Here we go, the top half of the 7th inning. Ian Edenfield still on the mound for Laurel Highlands. First pitch to Chris Dick is called low and outside for, it was called a strike.
Jerry's telling me a couple of sprinkles falling right now.
It's not 7 o'clock yet.
No.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Edenfield to the mound opponent. Chris Dick takes ball 1. So 1-1. Mustangs need to try to keep it at 4-0 and hope for a big bottom of the 7th.
Be a fun bottom of the 7th inning with Dick still going for that no-hitter.
1-1 pitch, fouled off to the right side. 1-2. In at first base for the Mustangs, number 16, that is Evan Voighton, getting an opportunity at first. One ball, 2 strikes. Edenfield with the windblown shirt. There's a shot down to first. That's a fair ball inside the first base line, and Dick will round first and pull up anchor. Drop anchor, I should say.
Probably get a courtesy runner out here
for a leadoff single. And we do get a courtesy runner. Number 11.
Eric Dawkins again. He ran for Dick back in the 3rd inning. Ended up scoring a run.
So Dick will go back into the dugout and think about that no-hitter.
For him, you might actually want to be on the bases. You'll have to think about pitching in the bottom half of the inning.
Mike Voynick will hit a high fly ball to center field. Novak going over, but the wind blows that all the way into right field as Gaspar will have to make the catch, and he does with a first out of the inning. Wind really took that one about 30 yards to the right after it was airborne. Derek Gaspar with the catch and the first out. Brings up Caleb Lehman. Flew out to center field, walked and struck out. 0 for 2 for Caleb. Wind really picking up now, and there's a swing and a miss. The ball skips away from Petrus, and now they're calling it a foul ball, so that will bring the runner back to first. And 0-1 count.
Heavy wind gust now. Dick Wood calling time there for a moment. You even see some of the dust blowing up around the field as well.
Blowing right into the press box here. Across the outfield, left to right. Curveball inside. 1-1.
And the wind, one of the reasons we decided to take it inside today. From a vantage point perspective, we certainly like being down the third base line, but with the high winds out there, figure we'd be able to get you a better radio and TV feed inside the press box today.
1-1 to Caleb Lehman. 1 out, 1 runner on for Gateway here in the top of the 7th. There's a hard grounder. Burns could not handle it as it came off the infield grass and skips under his glove. Going into third now and able to come in safely. And on the throw, going to second is Lehman. So the Mustangs commit a costly error there and put runners at second and third with just 1 out. They'll have to bring the infield in now on the grass with no chance to try to give up any more runs here on the top of the 7th.
Another courtesy runner now coming out for Lehman, the catcher. That's the other Stankovic Jordan coming out there.
So now runners at second and third, just 1 out, and Austin Conroy flew out the left, walked, and popped up to second base in his 3 at-bats. Swing and a miss. The fastball from Edenfield.
Really can't afford to give up anything else for Laurel Highlands at this point. Again, the Mustangs without a hit on the offensive side, down 4-0. Gateway actually scoring all 4 of their runs in the top half of the 3rd inning.
Only with the benefit of 2 hits.
They now have 7 hits for the game.
Foul ball. Back to the screen, makes it 0-2. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the 6th. 1 here in the 7th. Spread them out, but all the damage in 1 inning. Threatening here again in the top half of the 7th. 0-2 pitch. There's a little looper. Stankovic is not going to be able to get it as it goes over his head and falls where he would normally be playing. And that's going to be an RBI single for Conroy. Just kind of stuck his bat out, looped it over Stankovic's head, who was playing up on the grass infield.
A tough break there. Laurel Highlands really in a position, as you said, Gary, where they had to play in and what would have been a routine out. And that situation on the pop-up, Stankovic unable to track it down with it falling behind him. And now another run across, and it's 5-0 now Gateway here with 1 out in the top half of the 7th.
Brian Reed will get his first plate appearance for Gateway. Came in to play first base last inning. Now runners at first and third, swing and a miss. 5-0 now, Gateway on top.
Reed entering this game batting .250 for the season with a homer and 2 RBIs.
Conroy with his lead off first, might see him take off. There's a little looper now between first and second, and that will get into right field for a base hit. Score another run for Gateway, making it 6-0. A seeing eye single by Brian Reed right between first and second. Barely made it to the grass outfield.
Is well positioned again.
Good enough for an RBI single.
Not exactly the most impressive hits out there, but getting the job done. As you said, now 6-0. And in the normal spot here that Brendan Majaka would bat, you have Bryce Washington entering the game. Number 44 for his first at-bat of the game. Washington, only 5 plate appearances, 0 for 4, with 1 walk so far this season at the plate.
And just 1 out. Runners now at first and second. Bigger hole now for the Mustangs, trailing 6-0, and a little bit of a discussion here.
Right, going over this change that's being made, inserting Washington into Majaka's position. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd see Majaka come back out to play defensively in the bottom half of the 7th inning via the re-entry rule. That would make it so Washington would be unable to enter from that position forward, but Gateway not too concerned about it here, leading 6-0 as we work with 1 out in the top half of the 7th inning.
Edfield will work from the stretch. Another little nubber, but this one goes foul, so Gateway not really hitting the ball very hard here in the 7th inning, but 3 hits producing 2 additional insurance runs.
Washington, the 6th Gator to bat here in the top half of the 7th.
0-1 pitch now on the way from Edenfield, and there's a ground ball to short. Sankovic to Burns to Voighton for the double play. So the Mustangs do turn the double play to end the inning, but not before. Gateway plates 2 more runs and now leads 6-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th. Chris Dick for Gateway working on the no-hitter. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS and the MSA Sports Network.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety for colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies. Painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruthhart, Calabrese, Stokes, SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Here we go. Last chance for the Mustangs to try to get into this 6-0 lead, and the no-hitter being pitched by Chris Dick for the Gateway Gators. Derek Gaisbauer stepping in. Swing and a miss at the first fastball for strike 1. Derek popped up to third base in the second, flew out to left in the fourth. Curveball in the dirt. 1-1. As Chris Dick will deliver the 1-1 pitch to Derek Gaisbauer. That's in the dirt for ball 2. Excitement in the Gateway dugout anyway.
I would think going for a no-hitter, how often does this happen, Gary?
There's a little roller back to Chris Dick, and he'll throw to first for the first out of the inning. Derek Gaisbauer just getting very little of that one and rolling it right out in front of home plate for an easy first out of the inning. We'll bring up the Mustang first baseman, Evan Voighton, with his first opportunity. Coming in for McManus, batting from the left side, swing and a miss, strike 1. The 1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. So working quickly and effectively, Chris Dick for the Gateway Gators, just keeping the Mustangs completely off balance. 0-2 pitch, strike 3. Wow. Looking on the outside corner. 2 outs in the inning, 1 out away from the no-hitter. We'll bring up Ian Edenfield. Flew out to right field and was on an error. 0 for 2 for Ian. Last chance for the Mustangs. There's a foul ball off to the right side for strike 1. Ian took a rip at that one. King steps back. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1-1. Chris Dick, number 39, all the way for the Gateway Gators. Just 1 out away from a no-hitter. 1-1 pitch. High and outside. 2-1. 2-1 pitch. That's just outside. 3-1. So good eye there by Ian Edenfield, making him work for it.
That's for sure.
3-1 pitch. There's a shot down third, deep in the hole. Throw over to first, not in time. And Edenfield is on We're going to call that a hit, Brian.
Close. Very
Deep in
close.
the hole down there at shortstop, Mike Voynick made the throw over to first. It was in the dirt, and tough play out there at shortstop. We're going to call it a hit.
Go in my books that way.
And that's going to bring up Chad Petrus with 2 outs and a runner on. Mustangs still trailing 6-0. There's a high pitch for the first ball. Gateway still with the 6-0 lead, 2 outs. Runner on at first is Edenfield. Inside ball 2. Chris Dick not close to the maximum number of pitches. So no worry there. There's a high fly ball to shallow center field. Coming in and making the one-hand grab to end the inning and the game is Dylan Urban. Mustangs unable to put anything up on the board here in the 7th. Gateway comes to Laurel Highlands and pulls out the 6-0 victory, tying things up in that 4th spot in the section for the last playoff position. And we'll be back with the final statistics here on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, the Gateway Gators, a 6-0 win over the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Chris Dick throwing a one-hitter for the Gators, almost getting the no-hitter broken up on the infield single by Ian Edenfield with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 7th inning. But really a huge win for Gateway, pulling them even with Laurel Highlands for that final playoff spot. In fact, Laurel Highlands, Gateway, and Albert Gallatin in a 3-way tie now for that final playoff spot in the conference. And of course, Laurel Highlands losing out on that tiebreaker, Gary, with them losing the first time around now to both Gateway and Albert Gallatin.
That's sure going to play havoc with their opportunity to get into the playoff if they're not able to win the next opportunities against both Albert Gallatin and Gateway. And really the Mustangs have to go back to the drawing board and try to find a way to put some runs up. Not really having much effectiveness at the plate in the last several games that they've had, Brian.
Yeah, you're right on that. And you go back and look at this game. The Gators sending 10 men to the plate in the 3rd inning, only 2 hits, but you had 3 Gators, check that, 2 Gators that were hit by pitches, 3 Gators that walked, coupled with those 2 hits, and 4 runs ended up scoring in that inning, and then the Gators tacking on 2 more runs, and that's top half of the 7th inning.
Exactly right. With 6 total runs, 9 hits, they also left 10 men on base, so it could have been even worse had not been for a couple innings where the pitchers for the Mustangs were able to work out of some jams. And for the Mustangs, as you said, no runs, just the 1 hit, and they left 4 men on base. Mustangs committed 1 error, and the Gateway Gators also committed 1 error. So the coaching staff for the Mustangs will certainly be talking to the Mustangs about being a little bit more aggressive at the plate, trying to put the balls in play, a little bit more effectiveness on the offensive side to try to put up some runs. No matter how well you play defensively, if you don't score any runs or don't get any hits, you're not going to win many games. So it's very cliche, but it's true.
Chris Dick again pitches the complete game, 1-hitter, improves to 2-0 on the season, and Noah Mankin picks up the loss for Laurel Highlands. He drops to 1-1. Laurel Highlands now 7-7 overall, 4-6 in the conference. Gateway improves to 4-6 in conference play and 5-9 overall. We're back with a final word both on the radio and TV side on the MSA Sports Network, WMBS, and the South Union Township Sports Network right after this.
This afternoon's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and everyone at CUTV, Gary Smith and his staff. This has been Brian Rozak, Gary Frankhauser, and Jerry Dupay. Another South Union Township Sports Network presentation. Our final once again, Gateway 6, Laurel Highlands nothing. Good night, everyone.